Boom, baby, we're live. Welcome to Interview with the Man, episode 817. We're back. We're black. We're rocking and rolling. We're back in black. Actually, I'm not even wearing black today, and I'm not black. I don't know. That just kind of came out. Men are giving up. We're going to talk about why this is happening and why this is an opportunity for a person like you who's watching content like this, because as I've been saying since the start of my live stream broadcasting, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Guys, there has never been more abundant opportunity in the world at any point in human history than there is right now. But we need to talk about what is going on here with the culture, the shift, and so much more. It's going to be the initial data that we're going to review. We're going to review a video that was sent to me by somebody, and we're going to break it down, and I'm going to give you phenomenal advice as usual. So buckle up. We're going to have a wonderful episode. I'm happy to be here. Sorry I was not here yesterday. We missed an episode. I am really slammed with a lot of stuff personally behind the scenes right now. And I pulled a literal 22-hour workday and passed out. And when I woke up, it was past showtime. It is what it is. I hope you forgive me. I've already forgiven myself. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And let's get the party started, shall we?
Connection established.
Make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. It starts with learning dating, and then you move on to something else to push humanity forward. That is the philosophy of modern life dating.
I am teaching you how to be strong. I am teaching you how to be powerful. So when bad things happen to you, you don't quit. Okay, because you don't know
how.
Because you don't know.
No, if I'm not going to explain to myself.
In normal conversation where people aren't sitting around and patronizing you because you're loud and obnoxious, and a lot of people don't want to confront you and tell you that. But I'll tell you that right now, young lady. You're very loud and obnoxious and you're rude.
You wanted to blow it up and make me seem like something I'm not, and I didn't appreciate that. But that's okay.
Did
you
you
can
watch my
do
channel?
what you want to do for your content.
Oh boy, somebody's triggered.
And
She's
you can do
triggered.
that. No, Adam sent me a clip.
You should want a woman that you can build with.
She can build me a sandwich.
My man,
It's common sense in every other country in the god world, but here you got to get out of god Venn diagram and be like, hey, don't post half-naked photos of yourself because you're going to attract predators. I love the intro video. To this day, every time, dude, Donovan is hilarious. He's like, oh boy, somebody's triggered. Every time I'm sitting here getting hyped for the show, I laugh at that. Donovan is hilarious, guys. Guys, what is up? We're gonna get going for today's episode. Men are slowly giving up. We're gonna talk about why, and we have got to break it down for all of you guys there who want to know what's going on. Because actually, if you're actually out there talking to women and just having a dialogue with them, which somebody sent me something earlier on Instagram. Actually, person who sent me that link on Instagram, can you send it to me on Telegram real quick? My lovely assistant friend. And yeah, guys, like, you have to understand the opportunity, it is there. But it is hidden behind a wall of hard work, as is all opportunity. Okay. So happy birthday, Happy, my little lovely dog. Her birthday was February 10th. And shout out to my great friend, my wonderful friend, Mr. DJ Sid Vicious. You, sir, I know you may think that you respect me and all that I do, but I respect you, sir. I really do. You are really a real G. You are a really great guy. The honor is all mine. And yeah, guys, we've got a lot to talk about, but let's talk about my favorite segment of the show. Are you ready for... Let's go to comment review, where I review the latest comments from my most previous show, showcasing viewers like you. As we get going, also I have sent out an email to everybody. It's on my list. So we're actually starting some email updates as well. So check your email, because I actually sent it to you. It's from mld@modernlifedating.com. Let me know, did it go to promotion tab? Did it come to your mailbox? I sent it out. We have a beta test segment. So it's about 2,500 people we sent it out to. We're going to incrementally expand the reach of that and solve our email deliverability. Shout out to Real John F. Kennedy says, I got the email, came to my mailbox directly. Praise the Lord. And Ahmed Al Husseini, hello, John. What a good timing catching your stream. I've always missed it because of the time distance. Listen, brother, thank you for being here. Mike Harton says, primary tab. Hey, we're out here, bros. We're making it happen. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm excited to be here, and the honor is mine. So I want to thank you guys so much for being here. The last episode was look at Mr. Juan Garcia. No, sir, we will not give up. What a great guy. The last episode was Free Consultation Friday, where we had an intervention with Mr. G Money, and then G Money, actually, he's a member of the monthly coaching. We had a really deep call there. And we're actually one of the viewers from the show actually is located in Houston, and now he is actually trying to help G Money get a job with the programming industry. So I want to thank you guys who watch. I want you guys to understand this, okay? A lot of YouTubers, before we go into a comment review, a lot of YouTubers like to do this God complex, this like looking down at you thing. But I'm here, want to tell you, I'm looking at you eye to eye. A lot of these leaders, they will walk ahead of you. Some of them will walk behind you. But as always, I say, I am walking beside you, arm in arm. You guys are my brothers in arms. And I am not here to be some God complex person, because all these guys with God complexes and talking down, that is just a raging sign of insecurity that a lot of these people are dealing with. You know, one of the biggest red flags in a human in general is somebody who desires clout and fame. Okay. They desire clout and fame because part of them, there's a large part internally within this person that is empty, and they're trying to fill it with clout. People have tried to fill this emptiness inside them with so many things, you know, promiscuous behavior, gambling, addiction, corn, you know, the list goes on and on. But the only thing that can fill that void in yourself, I'm not going to say Jesus, okay, but the only thing that can fill that void inside of you is self-love, and an unrelenting, unconditional amount of self-love and self-acceptance. If you don't have that, nothing you do will come to fruition that's you want to come to fruition. Okay. You got to love yourself. You got to be kind to yourself. You got to evolve. And, you know, I see it happening here, and it is what it is. It's the way of the world, but I will not be part of it. Okay. Email was in spam. Are you serious? Roof Wrangler was in spam. MLD at modernlifedating.com. Jay Rolander got the email. All the boys got the email. I left field. I really thought you were going to say Jesus. I know, right? Oh, praise the Lord. Mom, if you're watching, sorry. You can pray for me after this. Anyways, let's take a look. Comment review. Let's see what we have to say here. I'm happy to see everybody getting the email. Maybe we're going to turn this franchise around. Mighty Zane is the consistent person here. He says, hey, MLD, your advice the last 10 minutes of the show was fire with truth. Thank you so much. This is Brandon. Says this is the guy who reached out to G Money. To the dude in Houston, you live in the energy capital of the West. You can get a mail room job at an oil and gas company for $18.20 an hour. I started with that 10 plus years ago. Now I'm an analyst at almost $40 an hour. That's good living. That's good money. Also, Houston has hundreds of hospitals that need coders. Come on, bro. I'll even help you. Shout out to my darling digital girlfriend, Luciana here, SF Penelope. She says, I like how MLD dissects the truth by asking simple, straightforward questions. Great stream. I think she replied what she said. I am. She is alive. She is alive. She is risen. That's one of my favorite buttons to push. Lord Venom, MLD said, if my homegrown guns don't scare you, these metal ones will. Hey, you know what it is, baby. You know. I got the Terran Tactical mock-up here. Don't play. To Duct, thanks for the advice, bro. RSG426, greatest men's self-improvement call-in show on YouTube. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Off Meds Kanye is based. Richard Cooper is back, helping us with a diversity score. He says, I am a closeted homosexual. Oy vey. The Coldest says, how is guy at $24.53 making $867? Is that even federal minimum wage? Bro, I made $2,400 a month at an unskilled job in security after taxes. Sometimes if the OT is good, I make $3,200 a month. Unskilled, he can make more than $1,700 a month at McDonald's. I don't think he wants to work MLD. I am broke too, but damn, man. $1,700 a month, WTF, for a coding job? Yeah. Yeah. I know. It is. I tell you what, it's wild. It's. We did a little bit more of dissecting on that, and we found out why it was happening. So here we are. I see it went to my spam as well. Some of you guys in the chat. I'm catching up on the chat here. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, there we go. You guys hear me? Check. All right. Quiet King 24. Sup MLD? What's the move? It went to spam. So some of you guys said, can you click not spam? I see. Some of you guys are getting caught up in the spam. I see. Okay. So good news. But yeah, this is somebody sent me this. This is in relation to today's episode. And it is an Instagram post. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to go into a little deep dive. So here's part of it. And this is a whole encompassing video.
Shut up and take my money.
But let's go. 2 seconds. Here it is. This is the thing. It says almost 50% of men aged 18 to 25 have never asked a woman out in person. Now, guys, I got to tell you, this degree of male weakness is a global phenomenon. I have a new American girlfriend girlfriend. We're friends. We're not dating, nothing. We're just totally friends. She's got a boyfriend. And you know, she just shows me like how often she gets these unsolicited invitations from him, but it's always these like creepy DMs, guys. It's always these creepy DMs. And it's just so bad. And the data is showing clear as day. Biscuit, $5 super chat. I don't understand how any man under 65 is okay without having a job or some sort of daily commitment. I am of the same school of thought, brother. I don't even know. My game is bad, but at least I'm not in that statistic. It's okay. You're trying. I mean, you're supposed to be bad at everything. Real John Kenny says a lot of women want clout and fame. It's one of the biggest red flags for sure. Catching up on the chat here. Did you see what Saint and Sinner posted? Do I even want to? Do I even? Okay, let me just see real quick. Let me just see. Let's see. So, but this guy likes to copyright strike everything because he's a real man. Makes a copyright strike. So let me just see if I can find the video here and see what's going on here. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna play a little bit of the audio and see what's going on here. What is he saying? Just yeah, I'm not interested in watching his nonsense. So no thanks. No thanks. I'm just gonna continue on with today's episode. I don't need to see him pretending to be a multimillionaire and all. It's funny. It's funny. Yeah, let's just see. If you're gonna address Saint in the center, give him the Richard Cooper treatment. Not even. No, it's not even worth my time. There are levels to the game. He can come to me when he's made $10 million. So let's go to today's episode, though. Today, there's a video that was sent to me, and it is titled "Men Are Slowly Giving Up." That is the title of the video. And you know, we're gonna talk about this because it's you know, it's about a lot of things. The situation is really kind of dire for the average guy. And yeah, I just think, you know, we have testosterone levels dropping. We have, the dating crisis, the simping crisis, the lack of, you know, the lack of fathers in the house. There's you know, it's a lot. It really is a crisis, but I think this is a crisis of choice, because before we dive into the video, let me just explain to you what exactly why men and women are kind of trapped in this not so ideal situation right now. Now, as you guys previously saw on an episode, if you watched, I talked about how basically we are in a situation, and honestly, the ones that are most negatively affected right now are women by this, because if there's no strong men, everybody suffers, right? And that's the plight of our time. So real quick, let me just talk about what we got going on here. Take a look here, okay? So, like I said, you have father, right? And then you have mother, right? Because we were all born to triangle women. And then you have kids, right? And when you have kids, this is a little girl, it's a boy. And when they're incentivized to divorce, right? Mom typically takes kids away, and then she begins to bash dad. That's just the normal thing that happens, unfortunately, right? Bash dad. So the children are literally being psyoped that men are bad from the moment dad is not there. And women use the courts to keep dad away. I deal with so many guys whose women, ex-wives, weaponize the divorce courts and justice system against these poor fathers and indoctrinate the children. So you have that. And then now, as you can see, everything coming out with the USAID, we have propaganda that is anti-male everywhere. And the reason why we have anti-male propaganda, okay? Propaganda. The reason why we have propaganda everywhere is because the only one who can stop tyranny and the only one who can stop things from going bad, the only ones who can fight back are men, right? Men are the ones who lead revolutions. Men are the ones who are the leaders, creators, and defenders, of society. So, that being said, we have music that is anti-male. Okay. Video games, everybody is some kind of DEI homosexual, right? We have movies. Oops, look at that S. We got movies. We got dramas. Okay. We have, and then we have social media, right? Everything is in America a left-leaning, anti-male, anti-straight white male, quite frankly. And it's not, the good news is this is non-organic. It is propaganda, and now it's been exposed, right? So you have this, and where can a man go to be celebrated? Where can a man go to feel accepted? Where can a man go to be a man, right? And yeah, JMC's right here. It's straight up. Everything is fake and gay, literally. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with. And then on top of that, the food here, Dr. Mellons is going to go nuts in the chat. The food plus water is poisoned. And the reason why the water is poisoned in America is because women in America, there's a large percentage of women on birth control, and they all birth control for women is just artificial estrogen. That's all it is, right? And when they urinate, that water is, or the urine is contaminated with estrogen, and then our water filtration devices in the United States of America cannot filter this estrogen out of the water, and that's why we have this crisis of testosterone, because testosterone levels are dropping 1% per year that we have documented so far, and this is happening consistently since I believe like the 70s, basically since birth control has been introduced. So that being said, we have people like Destiny. You know, we've got you name it, we've got it, right? If you ever wonder like why certain things are the way they are, it's definitely due to that, right? It is definitely due to that. And you know, it's quite the trap. But luckily, we are having we're in a position where we can fight back and we can educate ourselves. And people like you are ahead of the curve because you're here now watching, right? And you know, a couple of years ago, 10, 20, 30 years ago, this right here.
It's Pride, everybody. Every color on the Pride flag is a symbol.
This wasn't.
In the sky. And I'm proud
this
to
wasn't
be
happening.
Every time that I see that Pride flag waving high.
This is
red means
America.
Because living is a gift. Orange
America.
means healing, and we have to persist in working to heal the world and healing ourselves.
I'll show you. The cure for that is right here. Okay, that's the cure. Okay. Right, and oh man, oh man. Underneath that is a eggplant. Yeah, Biscuit says that is Satanism. I cannot agree with you more. Okay. So that being said, we gotta explain why it's happening. And this is a great video. We're gonna do a comprehensive breakdown here. And yeah, I smell something like burning. Is my computer on fire? Maybe it's my brain cells from watching that video. I literally smell something burning. It smells like electronic. Oh, I think it's this because it's kind of warm. It's on top of my computer. Brooklyn's, and she says, it's because you're so hot. I love you. Let's jump into today's video, shall we, boys? And we're gonna do a little bit of breakdown here. All right. And I want you guys to comment and stuff. I'm gonna be pulling your comments up. We're gonna be a lot more interactive here. But here we go. Let's go. Yeah, the burnings. I think it was this tissue. Anyways, let's go. Who's ready? Let's rock. Let's see what we got here. I didn't watch this in full, by the way. I like to do live reactions.
Increasingly, more and more men are giving up. Giving up on relationships, careers, and society as a whole. Resentment is growing, unemployment is becoming rampant, and keeping your head above water seems almost impossible for many men today. This is leading to more men than ever dropping out of society entirely. And it's not
okay. So first things first, let's break this. Okay, I think it's about time to give up. Listen, okay. Now I understand that things may be hard for certain people, but if you're like, my life is so hard, I'm gonna get on my multi-$100 cell phone and get on social media and complain about it. It's not hard. Okay. You know what? Would you like to see what a hard life is? Go to the Philippines, go to Thailand. Okay. Go to Cambodia, go to Africa. Who has been to Africa? Who has been to, I have been to Africa. I went to South Africa in 2005. No. I was 16. I'm mathing. Hold on. 2001. 1 or 2. I went to Johannesburg, South Africa, Krugersdorp. There is no hope in Africa. Like, it is, you're struggling. Like, that is really hard. This is like first level, first world. And then the next thing here, which is kind of like immediately.
This is leading to more men.
So if you're, imagine the logic here. I understand you guys got a heartbreak, but bear with me because I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you your medicine. Okay. Imagine thinking, man, my life is so hard. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop out of the workforce. Sorry, does not compute. 404.
and than ever, dropping out of society entirely. And it's not just that, men are becoming infantilized. With terms like adulting now becoming normal, it's clear that something ugly is happening.
Well, okay. Infantilized, and this is a perfect screenshot to keep it. The reason why men are so infantilized is because they are babied. They are babied by mommy. Mommy, and I'm going to say something that's going to ruffle some feathers, but that's what we're here for, right? If you live at home with mommy and daddy, and mommy and daddy are paying your bills and buying you some sneakers when you need them and always bailing you out when you're in trouble, you are stunting your growth as a man. You are stunting the ability of you to achieve your maximum potential as a man. You cannot grow up and be a strong masculine man with mommy's titty in your mouth. Okay? Period. Dr. B, we know it's not you. You got the groove, you got the move. You are a certified G. Okay, I announce you certified G. You have received my blessing, Dr. B. I am honored to always see your name here, sir.
Needs to be addressed. We live in such a strained, unnatural environment that is bound to start to wear on society. But men in particular are battling to keep up and are slowly giving up. Giving up on dreams, giving up on trying, and giving up on doing anything constructive. And for a large part, it's really not their fault, as this trend isn't.
For a large part, it's really not their fault. Part of this video is engineered to gain sympathy and empathy via this content creator making a logical case for the situation at hand, but the trades are needing people. Okay? They need truck drivers. They need plumbers. They need electricians. They need construction staff. They need roofers. Okay? They're in dire need. Dire need.
Just a personal struggle, but it's a societal issue that we must urgently address. So why is this happening? And why has it gotten so bad in 2024? On the surface, it's a long and complicated story. Life has never been simple for any human, and objectively speaking, for men in the West today, it's never been better. We have all the technology we need, food delivered to your door with the tap of a finger, dating readily available to anyone with a simple swipe. Any products, items, or experiences that you want can be had with the tap of your phone. But
what's funny about this, he's talking about like this is a good thing. This is actually terrible. Okay? So you guys, you shouldn't be, if you want to live your life to maximum potential, because that's what this channel is about. My philosophy for dating is become above average, become better than average. So you can't eat average food. You can't behave in average ways. You can't look average. You cannot live average. Your financial plan cannot be average, because if you're average, you're going to get the average results. And average results, you're going to get an average girl. And nobody wants an average girl. Everybody, men and women, they want something better than them, right? So he talks about you can get food at the push of a button. Yeah, but you're going to get some goy slop that is just filled with seed oils, filled with preservatives, and slowly but surely poisoning your body. Dating apps, you got to know how to beat the algorithm. That's what nobody's talking about. I did with dating app domination. And with my system, you can consistently beat the algorithm, like consistently. And online shopping, I mean, I'll say as a guy, I know I'm like literally covered in Louis Vuitton right now. But the reality is like, you really don't need a lot of expensive stuff. You really don't. You really don't. Like I'm telling you, I'm a guy who's made millions of dollars, and I feel nothing when I go into Louis Vuitton. I feel nothing when I go into Dior. I feel like I don't even care. Like I'm just because when you first start doing it, yeah, it's fine. But then like if I dirty this is like $800, right? If I dirty this beanie, do you think I could just throw this in the washer? No, I have to take it to the dry cleaner. And then I got to pay like $10 to get it cleaned. And then dry cleaning is expensive in Japan. It's terrible. It's like 1,000 yen, which is like $8, $7, whatever. If I was like, I was wearing this, I got this really nice shirt from Fendi. It was like $1,000. And I'm at the club and some dummy bumps into me while I have an espresso martini in my glass. And now I have it on my shirt. And then I got to walk around all night like a D-bag with espresso martini on my brand new Fendi shirt. And then I got to go drop it off at the cleaner, go pick it up. It's time suck. It's a money suck. It's an emotionally draining thing, you know? And honestly, if you want to look good and have a good sense of fashion, the ultimate accessory is having a nice body. And it's free, because literally to have a nice body, all you need to do is not eat so much. Everybody in America is so fat because they eat too much. That's it. It's within your control. Stop eating. Be aware of all the food you're slamming into your mouth. That's it. Problem solved. Save money, save health, save time, save depression because nobody likes being fat.
But over time, all of these comforts of life destroys the importance and necessity of struggle. Without any value placed on higher goals, where there just is no reason to care, means there's no reason for people to properly live or have the will to achieve greatness. Which is probably why 40% of young men aged 18 to 45 meet the criteria for depression, and 49% of 18 to 23-year-olds have had a thought of passing themselves in the past 2 weeks alone. And
so I think this goes to a quote about Fight Club. And he says, like, we have no great war. We have no great depression. Our war is a spiritual war, and our great depression is our lives, because we have neutered men. We have neutered everything. If you've ever been to Toronto, I'm sorry to hear that, first of all. But when I went there, it was literally like this dystopian future. Everybody is eating like conglomerates slop, like, let's go to Tim Hortons. Let's go to eat this goy slop here. Let's eat this goy slop there. Let's eat this crap here. And let's, we got the weed dispensary here, and we got this delivery food service here, and we got this here. And like everything is convenient, everything is great, but like it's just like a neutered society. I have never felt such a spiritually broken and desolate place like I have Toronto. I literally wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. I was like, why do people live here? This place is expensive. These people are ugly. The architecture is ugly. It is freezing cold. I don't want to eat any of this chemical food that's being here. Like, no. And when you outsource things, right? When you outsource your food, when you outsource your medicine to a doctor, when you outsource anything, you are going to get the short end of the stick, because to be profitable as a business, you need to make money off the client, and the client's health comes at expense. Like, yes, can you go to McDonald's and get some cheap food? Yes, you can. And it's prepared for you instantly, But Jim Gaffigan talks about this in one of his stand-ups. He's like, they show, all the nice burgers and everything in McDonald's. He's like, what they don't show you is how people feel after they eat McDonald's. Just is like, I shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. It's just terrible. Terrible. People aren't getting enough sunlight. Men are not going outside. People are not exercising. Obesity is through the roof. So again, like, if you want to change your life and feel better, literally stop eating all the poisoned food. If you don't have access to the gym, literally 50 body squats, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, and find a bar outside or find a tree and do 3 sets of pull-ups till failure. Congratulations, you're on your way to being fit. Like, do you think our ancestors had an Anytime Fitness or they're like, oh, you know, we don't have anything, you know, we're just gonna sit around and look at like stone tube or whatever, you know, whatever they had in the caveman times. Certainly not. Certainly not. The remedy is right in front of you, brothers.
We're seeing the symptoms of this problem everywhere. The sapping away of our vision and ambition permeates in all aspects of modern society today. Our culture, architecture, relationships, bodies, and minds. Past civilizations before us have always placed their emphasis on beauty, wisdom, and logic for all the population to see, with great town squares, bustling with art, life, and community. These things were placed above all else as the bedrock of their societies, laying out a code of honor and struggle in its people to achieve greatness. Comforts were shown in art and culture, but as an aspiration for achieving something great, for following your mastery. But today our cities are mostly devoid of all of this character, and instead they're marked
Toronto. Conglomerate world, Toronto.
out by the most cost-efficient, bland, and sterile designs to facilitate a simpler, self-motivated purpose.
Korea is like that too, and they also have a lot of self-deletion out there.
It's why people flock all over the world to a handful of remaining cities that retain their centuries-old charm to feel and experience the character of bygone societies that were motivated by higher ideals. Ideals greater than our modern two-dimensional ways of thinking, with a prioritization of comfort, lust and opulence, and flashy materialism.
Comfort is the number one enemy of men. Okay. You want to know, like, this is why I have a lot of friends that have like super rich families, and, you know, their parents babied them, spoiled them, and men need adversity. Men need struggle. Men need a challenge. You need a purpose. You need a mission. Like, comfort is a lie. Like, you want to be comfortable when you sleep. You want to have a place to rest your head, but your life should not be one of comfort. Because a lot of guys, and I'll tell you this, guys, let me tell you something, okay? You know, when I took off some time last year, took off like 6 months, bro. I was working behind the scenes heavily on a pretty big project. I can't really talk about it, but it was like a multi-7-figure project. But there were times where everything was good and I was just coasting for a while. And, you know, last year I ripped my pectoral at the beginning of the year again, and then I had another injury in the summer. And I couldn't go to the gym, and I was just kind of like, you know, I was going to Hawaii a lot and just like hanging out. But there were times where I was just like in consistent comfort, and I started to feel like depressed. I started to feel like I hate my life. And that's because you need struggle. Embrace struggle. Embrace hardships. Embrace the grind, right? Because without it, you cannot develop the character necessary to achieve your maximum potential. If you want to be, like, let me ask you a question. Would Luke Skywalker be the greatest Jedi the galaxy has ever seen, according to the comics, not Luke Skywalker, the Disney one, okay? But if you read the books, when he fought the Yuzan Vong and all that, I probably butchered that. When he was fighting Admiral, what's his name? The blue guy. Shucks, it's slipping my head. Anyways, when he was fighting bad guys and was fighting Yuzan Vong and all that, and when Darth Vader cut his hand off, you know, not Thrawn, was it Thrawn? Admiral Thrawn is the blue guy, maybe. You know, he wouldn't have been the great Jedi that he was if he didn't do that. You know, would Donald Trump be the president right now if he didn't survive that attempt on himself? Grand Admiral Thrawn, there it is. That's it, Grand Admiral Thrawn. You know, when we look at comeback stories, look at. I'll talk about MMA, right? Would George St. Pierre be, in my opinion, I believe that George St. Pierre is the greatest MMA fighter ever live. Right? He had one loss to Matt Serra, which was kind of a puncher's chance loss. But after that, he completely turned his life around, completely turned his way of fighting around, and went undefeated for the rest of his career. Okay? You do not win big without losing, without suffering, without bad stuff happening to you, right? I'm going to say this respectfully, but let's talk about Conor McGregor, for an example, right? After Conor fought Floyd Mayweather and he got that $150 million paycheck, that's ultimate comfort. And since then, prime Conor was the hungry Irish guy that was spending every dollar that came his way as soon as it came, because he didn't care about anything. He was on a blazing path for the UFC featherweight championship. And then he slept Jose Aldo. It was like 13 seconds, right? So, oh yeah, you're right. He got armbarred by Matt Hughes. I think it was like UFC 50, wasn't it? Matt Hughes did armbar him. Good correction. I forgot about that. But then he came back and beat Matt Hughes easily too, I would argue. But when Conor got all that money, he got that comfort, and then the only person he beat was and I just say this respectfully to these guys. He lost to Donald Cerrone, who was on a massive losing streak, and that was it. Broke his leg, got knocked out, got choked out. Comfort is the enemy, right? Lust, that's enslaving a lot of men right now, right? Because they're looking at girls on Instagram, they're not embracing the discomfort of doing cold approach, which is you're going to get rejected. A big part of understanding game, guys, is understanding that you're going to get rejected a lot. You are going to get rejected. It is the name of the game. If you guys think like some alpha male chat guy out there is just talking to girls and he's like batting 100, you are so out of touch with the reality of the game. Okay. It is a numbers game. You got to take rejection, not personally. You have to objectively take rejection. Think about what's going on here. Am I reprehensible? Do I look decent? How many approaches do I do? Right. But it is uncomfortable. That's like free consultation Friday is very few guys actually come and talk to me on the screen, is because you have to sit down and you have to understand mentorship is supposed to make you uncomfortable. If you have a mentor that is consistently only making you feel good, I'm sorry, but that's a bad mentor. You don't have what you want because you believe something that's not true. That's it. You believe something that's not true, because if you knew better, you would have what you want. And the older people get, the harder it is to snap them out of their delusions. And it takes a really strong coach to intervene with that. Okay. So you got to get out of your comfort. Comfort kills, brothers. Comfort kills. Comfort kills.
Over individual excellence and greater community, we're now reeling in the aftermath, becoming a silly generation of mandated mediocrity. And does this explain why men today seem to struggle more than ever while seemingly having more than ever? America in particular is not actually in a recession. In fact, on paper, the economy looks like the best it's been in a while. Unemployment has dropped, GDP is up. But what the people are actually experiencing...
What was this video made? Hold on, let me just check the timestamp. 3 months ago. Jerome Powell said we're in a recession today. But the Biden administration redefined the terminology of recession. We've actually been in recession for quite some time. But it's like, think about it. We're in a recession. Like, honestly, how many of you guys had a full stomach full of food this week? Like, it's a first world recession, guys. If you are broke in the first world, it is 10,000% your fault. Just keeping it stacked. Man to man, okay?
is a completely different story. We can see this in a study by the University of Michigan on consumer sentiments, which gathers data based on how consumers feel about the current state of finances. In 2022, it dropped to an all-time low. Prices of our average daily needs like gas and food have increased in unbearable percentages. In contrast, salary increases do not match, putting a high strain on budgets.
So that's the problem. That the salary, that's a problem around the world. This in Japan, everything. Corporate profits are an all-time high, while salaries are just eking along. And the problem is because people, we're not unified. We don't stand up. And it's because the big corporations and government are in bed together. And that's why it's totally important who is in office. Like people say, government doesn't matter. President doesn't matter. There's privileged people or stupid people saying that, period. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about that.
Inflation is showing no signs of slowing down as Americans pay over $1,000 a month more on the same essentials we were buying.
And the inflation, the number one source of inflation is government spending, period. It's not, we're not inflating crap. We're not, you know? So just breaking it down for everybody.
Buying 3 years ago. Nothing's changed but price. The latest consumer price index for March showing basic necessities like our food, housing, and gas are all continuing to cripple Americans' wallets with higher prices.
Okay, I think that's a little like overblown. A 2% increase is crippling you. Food away from home. I'm telling you, guys, if you look, so let me tell you something. My mom used to be the head of the church's kitchen, right? And the church had a private school, right? And she was the lunch lady. And when she took over, it was like this big old fat white woman who was in head of everything. And my mom saw what was going on, and she saw the company Cisco, who provides everything, right? And if you just look at the Cisco menu and you look at the things that they provide, Cisco provides for a lot of restaurants in America, like a large percentage, a very, very large percentage. And like I'm talking, like if you get little chocolate cakes from them, it has soy in it, it has seed oils. The amount of preservatives and just chemicals in this stuff it's everywhere. Guys, you have to understand, literally, and Dr. Mellons, back me up here in the chat. I know you're just like being like, Dr. Mellons, you are a man. Okay. You are like a man with autism. Okay. Every time you eat out, literally unless the restaurant's like, we use no seed oils, all of our stuff is locally harvested and organic, and all, you know, we're cooking with like no microplastics in the kitchen. Okay. You are poisoning yourself. Every time you eat out, you are undeniably, irrefutably poisoning yourself. Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, Wendy's, McDonald's, Chili's, Applebee's, name it, KFC, Popeye's chicken. Okay. Name it. You are poisoning yourself. You are irrefutably poisoning yourself. So this can also be mitigated. But again, the problem here is people are outsourcing things because they're lazy. You know, the rate of home cooking has been consistently declining since like the 60s. And guess what's been increasing as well? Obesity. Okay. They also make food prisons. What do you mean? No, prison food is probably listen, dog, you jail food is no. Please no, God no.
Inflations our wages are actually down against inflation since Biden took office. So not only are prices soaring, but you know, our wages, at least if you measure hourly wages, are not keeping up at all.
Keeping your head above water has become the new normal instead of owning a home with a white picket fence. The rich are becoming richer and the poor are becoming poorer, with the middle class disintegrating completely. All the knowledge of the past of just going to college, getting a job, and buying a home immediately is just completely irrelevant for anyone working and living in 2024. Universities have skyrocketed in prices to absurd levels.
This is true. This is true. And the reason, so again, I'm going to show you why this is all connected to the government. Okay. The reason why this is happening is because the government literally gives loans to pretty much anybody to go to school. And so these organizations, these colleges and stuff, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to charge $900 for a textbook. And guess what? We're going to have a new version next semester, and you're going to have to buy that version of the book. That's also $900. The amount of books I didn't buy in college, because I paid my way through college. It was terrible. Okay. I had to work hard for my bachelor's in science and psychology. Okay. I'm a genius. Don't forget it.
Get money.
I just, you know what I did? I literally every class I became friends with some cute girl. And I was like, you want to be study friends? Because I was smarter than them because I'm a genius. And in return, I'm like, I don't have a book, but you know, I can help you with whatever you need. And we can study together and we could just share a book. And they were just like, okay, fail this class or hang out with this good looking guy who's going to help me pass. Easy choice there. So you guys got to be smart. You gotta be able to, you know, be resourceful, be smart about it. But this is criminal here. This is straight up criminal, you know.
The housing market is in a complete giant bubble. Everyone's sending out job applications more and more, all while using these automated testing systems, applying up to 100 jobs a day and still not getting anywhere. All the while major companies repeatedly tell us that they can't find any workers for their companies. And the results of this are clear. People are drifting towards more unfulfilling jobs, or just not even having a job at all, while the rich buy up resources, real estate, and everything that used to be the cornerstones of the middle class, that is now just an investment hidden through an offshore bank account for some giant investment fund.
Basically what they...
Okay. And again, let's go back here.
There's now just an investment hidden.
So why is $4 trillion in US wealth stashed overseas? Because smart people and rich people understand the largest bill that you have is your tax bill. It is the largest expense. For the average rich person, okay, it doesn't matter if you write off yada, yada, yada. Sorry, I don't want, and then now look, like I've already knew this and I'm glad it's being exposed, but like with USA aid and all that, right? I don't want to pay money for transgender friggin' operas in Colombia. Okay.
Through an offshore bank account.
Are we noticing a pattern here? It does matter who you vote for, but also I would say this guy is reaching a bit. He is reaching a bit because no one's really forcing you to become an Uber driver. Okay. There are jobs everywhere, gentlemen. You just have to look, but people don't look. You don't believe me? The average person is looking at Instagram literally like 10 times a day. The average person is putting more time scrolling social media, mindlessly scrolling, not even a content creator. Like when I'm on social media, I'm creating content. I'm not like looking at girls. Like my Instagram, like literally I follow someone. If I follow them, if you're lucky that I follow you, I immediately hold down the button on your story. I click mute. I click mute stories, mute post. Okay. Because I don't care. I do not care. The people that stories come up to my feed are real estate people, health people, business people. That's what I look at. Like I don't gawk at hot girls on Instagram all day like the average brain dead guy does. It's a choice. It's a choice. You must use your time wisely or time will waste you away.
For some giant investment fund.
Basically, what they want to do is create a nation of renters. BlackRock coming in and giving them more money than the house is worth.
How much more do they give them?
They can give them, 30% above.
Really?
Which is money.
And then they just lease those homes out.
And they lease them out. It's part of this idea that home ownership and automobile ownership and all of these things, these legacy systems that people want to get rid of. And they go, rent a house, use Uber, Lyft, whatever. You don't need to own. What does owning do for you? That's that famous article, you'll own nothing and be happy.
Right.
And because of this, all saving plans for regular people are halted because living paycheck to paycheck means there just isn't enough for a savings plan.
Guys, by the way, can you please smash the like button? We have got, collectively across all platforms, we have like 200 plus people watching it now. And I have a measly 67 likes. It's a sign of the times. It's a sign of the times. People don't even want to push the like button, and it's free. It's free. Do you know I pay $4,000 a month to live in this place, to broadcast to you, and you won't give me this? Can you help me out? This is what this is all I require from you. Can we just a little liked? If you don't like, I'll play the song. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? I will play. I will do it. We're at 85 likes. I need 15. I need 15 likes right now. 15 more. All right. Y'all think I'm joking? All right, here we go. Sorry, as your father, I need to punish you.
Shut up and take my money.
No, I don't want your $5. I didn't ask for money. I did not ask for money. Okay. I told you. Let me check real quick. They're at 90 likes. Okay. Sorry. You did this.
It's Pride, everybody. Every color on the Pride flag is a symbol in the sky. Pride. And I'm proud to be me every time that I see that Pride flag waving high. Red means life because living is a gift. Orange means...
There are 5 people in the chat who have not clicked like, who are subjugating the rest of us to this torture. Come on, guys. 5 people. There you go. 3 people just finally took action. We need 2 more. All right, fine.
Means healing, and we have to
I'll sit here all day.
persist in working to heal the world and healing.
All right, we got okay, thank you. Good job. It's like that talk your parents give you after they beat the hell out of you. You're like, see, this hurts me more than it hurts you. Okay. I am so sorry that I needed to subject you to this faggotry. But your laziness is an even larger amount of faggotry. Thank you for the likes, guys. Let's go back. Okay.
Whilst there is still some hope to dig your way out, for most this does begin a damage.
And shout out to Canadian Believe in Yourself, $5 Canadian super chat. That's not you. Where is it? Did it disappear? Here we go. Dollar bill. Yeah, thank you so much. I love you. I really love you. I'm really ready to take our relationships to the next level, which is you pressing the like button as soon as I tell you to.
Damage path. People end up working in a job that's not in their field, something that they hate to do every day, and eliminates the experience they need for.
Okay, this is funny, guys. This is the young guy's entitlement because he sounds like a young guy. Listen to this. Listen real quick.
And whilst there is still some hope to dig your way out, for most this does begin a damaged path. People end up working in a job that's not in their field, something that they hate to do every day, and eliminates the experience they need for the job in their field.
So we all, God, this is like a little bit of a child here. Okay, everybody has worked a job that they I just bit my tongue. Everybody has worked a job that they don't like before. Okay. Everybody has worked a job that they don't like before. It's called life. It's called being a man. Okay? That's what it is. So again, come on. You know, you're being a little entitled here. Come on. Do you think I loved washing dishes at Ale House in Orlando, Florida? Do you think I liked being covered in food filth, and like I would see a cute server and like want to talk to her, but like if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know, like this is the hierarchy of like the managers at the top, and then like sub managers, and then you have like servers, and then chefs, and like hostesses, and then at the very, very, very bottom is the dishwasher. No, like for you, I was in the middle of a weld and was, hey, listen, at least you're working a job. I will give it to you. I will give it to you. Joseph Kemp. Yeah. Gringo Vaquero says, being a mall security guard was my most humiliating job. Called Paul Blart incessantly. A lot of time to read on the graveyard shift, though. Hey, bro, we got to get it in, bro. I've done, guys, I'm going to talk about this real quick. Okay. I worked at a gym in Orlando called Metro 24/7 Fitness. It was owned by this gay couple, and they were always like fighting and being really gay. It was a pretty gay experience. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I was getting paid. I worked the graveyard shift also, because if you worked a regular shift, you made like, $8 an hour. But when you work graveyard shift, you make $10, and that was like $10 an hour. That was like 2009, 10. So it was like not bad. It was like 2010, 2011 is when I did that. It was terrible. It was terrible. I'd like clean the lockers, and like I would find like steroid needles and stuff, and I'd just like, oh my God, I hate my life. It's terrible. I used to work at a crappy restaurant called Dexter's, and my boss was a cokehead, and he would like talk down to me. I'm like, dude, you're a cokehead. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm going to college. Like, this restaurant and your cokeheadedness is like, you're maxed out. So, you junkie, don't. How dare you? Okay. Pizza delivery driver. A lot of you guys don't know when you're pizza delivery driver. Guess what you're doing when there's no pizza delivery happening. Okay. Guess what? You're washing dishes. Right? No bueno.
And so even the experience they are getting is just completely useless for getting back on track. In effect, they're now...
This guy's riding the ambulance. Okay. Sorry.
Entry-level position is further deviating them from becoming lawyers, psychologists, or whichever career path they studied for. And if the middle class is experiencing this, then the lower earners are feeling this even more. The jobs they once had a chance of landing now go to the middle class, while they get hit a bump lower, which is putting millions of people in dire straits. They face working twice as hard for minimum wage, juggling between jobs, partaking in the gig economy with absolutely no security, all with an extreme pressure to keep up with daily expenses in a completely overpriced megacity. And the truth is, both middle...
So if you're in a megacity, move. Again, there is a narrative this guy's trying to paint to get views. But like I said, in our crybaby male culture, like, yeah, everybody's at fault. Everybody's at... Listen, guys, okay? Guys, there are men out there, okay? And it is what it is, okay? But there are men out there who make one of two choices. Am I going to be broke and suffer and waste my life, or am I going to sell drugs? And I mean, it's real. It's real. Yeah, see, you're ahead of the curve,
And lower earners are now taking a huge hit to their egos. They feel disrespected through no fault of their own, as no man wants to feel like a failure. They don't want to feel like they're not providing or on their destiny. Imagine putting in the hours and effort to get a degree and then having to take a job that's not even within the field you studied for. Well, this is just regular life for most people nowadays. It's making men feel incredibly depressed and isolated. They watch all this stuff on social media. They see people flexing the Rolexes on their Instagram stories. Meanwhile, they're struggling to survive.
I feel personally attacked, okay? Leave me and my Rolex alone. I worked hard for it, okay? However, okay, again, if you are struggling, but you have time to scroll social media, you're not struggling, you're entitled, period.
living a life they absolutely hate. And when friends and family ask about it, they suffer the humiliation of explaining why they had to take what was available. Even though it isn't humiliating at all, and they're doing what they can to survive, it definitely takes a huge effect on their mental health, especially as it wasn't that long ago, where it was actually normal to enter the workforce with a mentor who would show you the ropes and encourage you and push you to learn more. Starting at the bottom.
Again, take a trip to the third world, okay? You know, one of the type of girls that I like the most are women from Vietnam. Because if you've ever been to Vietnam, these women are such hard workers. They are incredibly hard workers. These women are out here selling coconuts in the street, running these faux restaurants. You know, they are out here hustling. Thai women too. They're out here hustling. Can't say the same about Filipinos. Listen, anybody knows about Filipinos. They're lazy as shit. Great people, lovely, happy, God's people. I love the energy and the kindness and respect I get from Filipino people, right? But the majority of them are very lazy. But people like in Vietnam, people like in Thailand, you know, they're hardworking. They are hardworking for sure.
It didn't seem so bad because there was an opportunity to grow and reap more rewards. But this imperative step is slowly slipping away. Companies of prestige have forgotten the generation with no experience. And for many companies, this is what they want. This is actually the ideal scenario, where they have people so desperate, so in need of experience, that they can treat their workers like absolute trash. Since the 1980s, testosterone levels have dropped more than 50%, and yet we're told to ignore it. Why? Because there's a coordinated effort to suppress masculinity and turn men into something they were never meant to be. This decline is no accident. We're constantly exposed to harmful chemicals in our food and everyday products, bombarded with estrogenic chemicals from plastics, junk food, and sedentary lifestyles.
Not including skin creams, shampoos, conditioners. Like, it is all engineered to make you gay and just literally fag you up.
Which is why testosterone levels have been declining for decades, with a 17% drop among 60-year-olds in 2004 compared to 1987. Sperm count and strength in men are also decreasing exponentially, with a 32.5% decrease in mean sperm concentration in the last 50 years. But here's the good news. There are ways to fight back, and one of the most effective solutions that I found is our sponsor Black Forest.
All right, chill. You're not going to pitch your crap here. This doesn't work. I'll tell you that right now. There's no pill you can take to boost your testosterone other than Anavar, Winstrol. Okay. You're not going to take a pill and boost your testosterone levels. Sorry. Doesn't exist. It's all marketing and hype and crap. You want to teach here, you want to increase your testosterone, you know what you do? You win. Winning increases your testosterone. Taking risk, walking up to a girl and asking her on a date. Not being fat. Guys, not being fat is 100% in your control. Literally. Just stop eating trash. If you feel like you're fat and you want to lose some weight, like literally just eat chicken, broccoli, and 1 cooked cup of rice twice a day. You're going to be okay. Your ancestors survived on less. Okay. You don't need to take supplements. You can get it all done. And if you're really suffering in the testosterone department, then get testosterone replacement therapy. That's it.
Energy levels, strength, sleep, and overall well-being. And by supporting our sponsors, you also support us directly. So hurry and take advantage of this amazing 48-hour promo and support me alongside this amazing brand using the link in the description below.
No.
The cost of having a job also plays a part in stripping them of their dignity. Transport costs to their job, depending on the amount, could take a huge chunk of their salary, so that at the end of the day, they can only pay for rent or food and not both. A government grant could replace...
You can only pay for rent or food, but not both. So who's out here choosing rent over food or food over rent? That doesn't even make sense. Who sent me this video?
Their salaries, and they earn more or less the same amount.
What's also helping to pay the bills is, as I said, the U.S. government, in particular, our disability programs for people who are unable to work. Those programs seem to have morphed away from their original humane intention and now seem to provide an alternative income source to regular employment for several millions, for millions and millions of these guys.
If a job doesn't support your basic needs,
you say the homeless have to choose between rent and food. Listen, homeless people don't eat. They do drugs and drink alcohol. Let's be honest. When was the last time you saw a homeless person eating that had all their teeth? A large part of people becoming homeless is due to some sort of substance use.
of a home, food, and transport, it wears thin in justifying the effort for this job, especially if you're not getting any experience. And in most cases, if you go into the gig economy, absolutely no security either, all for minimum wage. There's even a new term called quietly quitting, where you do the bare minimum of your job to the point that you're almost rendered useless and you get fired or simply quit. The fact that this term even exists shows that attention is desperately needed to.
Why are we pretending that like majority of the workforce isn't doing this on a day-to-day basis and checking Instagram instead? I feel like the video's a reach. I don't know. Am I being a D-bag, chat? Chat, am I being a D-bag? Am I being an empathetic D-bag? Honestly, give it to me straight. I feel like this video, like, life is, guys, life is not. Is life hard? Yes, life's hard for everybody, first of all. Okay. But like, we're not dodging bullets in the street. Well, if you live in a Democratic state, you might are, you know, but you know, you have been out of the poor life for 3 years now. Actually, it's the beginning of my 6th year. But do you think I was just sitting around not trying to get out of it? Like, do you think I was just like, I'm going to manifest millions of dollars? Or was I working hard every day? James is in the house. He says, a single man with no kids shouldn't have any issue surviving in America, barring some extreme circumstances. I agree. I agree. I had to whip my own cream with a fort today. Was it Fort Knox? That's pretty strong. Life is always hard. Why are you whipping cream, you racist?
So,
because it's white.
Of this problem. And while this is happening, it's becoming more and more common for both partners in a household to be living the same life.
This is the number one source of your misery right here. Embracing gender equality. There is no equality amongst the genders. Men have their roles, women have their roles. The further you stray away from the fundamental truths in life, the more you will suffer. Okay.
Or even with most males' partners actually being the breadwinner. And whilst this isn't necessarily a problem at all, it is leading to some weird modern problems in the household. Men with families are actually switching their roles with their wives, except they're not actually doing what their wives would do if they were to stay at home.
When you look at what I guess in Britain is called NEET, N-E-E-T, do you say that also?
It's from Japan, actually, but I guess they picked up in Britain.
In Australia, neither employed nor in education or training?
Is it no education, employment, or training?
When you look at that huge group of well over 6 million prime age men, the story they're telling about their lives is really pretty devastating. It's pretty distressing. They basically don't do civil society. There's almost no worship, almost no volunteering, almost no charitable work. They've got a lot of time on their hands, but they report doing strangely little help around the home or helped with other people at home.
Because the situation.
Because they're entitled little mommy's boys. They can check out. Listen, when I went to England, first of all, I was like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Where are all the white people like I saw in 007 movies? But when I went there, it's all the fucking Habibis doing everything. They're working at the grocery store. They're working at everywhere. The KFC, the Stainsbury. Is that the name of the you know what I'm talking about? The grocery store over there. Like the Uber drivers, everybody. You know? Those guys also, listen, shout out to Islam. Okay. I don't support a lot of stuff from Islam, but I will say at least these guys have a masculine structure in order. While America, we have lesbian pastors lecturing the fucking president of the United States of America. It's like, lady, you should take a visit to the Middle East. And if you're not thrown off the top of a roof, I guarantee you'll have a couple of things to say about changing the rules around. You see, these people can live in, you know, situations that are not ideal, yet they have the masculine roles in place. And again, if you forsake the right way to do things, man, provider, protector, woman, nurturer, housekeeper, right? Once you start upsetting that balance, get ready to suffer. You men have to work, and work is not supposed to, like, if your work is something you enjoy, you're blessed, but it's called work for a reason. Like, you have to work as a man, period. Okay. Massive period at the end of it. Boom, boom, shack. London is almost completely gone. Glad I moved to Tokyo. You must be new. You must be Lou. Dude, that was cringe AF. What? Me? Could potentially be what you said. Liberal. Oh, are you talking about the lesbian pastor lecturing Trump? Like, lady, you look like you're addicted to drugs. Like, please moisturize and come back later. Okay. Liberal Christianity is the worst thing that happened since the great. Yeah, for sure. Oh, BS Profile says, yeah, the Trump. Yeah, lady, can you just chill? You know, women in America who are like really feminist or like really into this whole liberal agenda, they just hate their dads. It's unfortunate. Every time I hear a woman's like, I'm this feminist and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, tell me about your relationship with dad. My dad was an asshole. Oh, okay. So you're just counter correcting. Like, you know, like when I was in Hawaii, I told you guys, I cold approached this chick on the beach. She was a good looking girl until she started talking. And I was just like, God, someone, can you please? So, first of all, she was a stripper. Okay. So there's that. Dad, MIA. Okay. And I'm talking to this chick, and she starts vomiting her stupidity on me. I'm like, lady, first of all, in case we missed the most important part of your lecturing me, you're a stripper. So you're not in a position to lecture me on anything because you're a stripper. And she was telling me, I called her approach that day. Then we ended up linking up later. And then we hung out the next day. And we were hanging out, we're talking. And she's like, well, I'm a bruja. And bruja means like witch in Spanish. And she's telling me all this shit. And I'm just like, God, this vagina is not worth it. And then she starts telling me about her relationship with her mom. And she's like, well, my mom told me this, my mom told me that, blah, 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 blah. She's like, my mom's a Christian. I was like, There it is. So she hates mommy. Mommy makes her upset. But she can't forgive her. She's got to revolt. And what does she do? She's a stripper who's also practicing witchcraft. And it was funny because, you know, she was telling me about all her witchcraft shit. And I was like, wow. She's like, what? I was like, you're going to hell. She laughed. She laughed. Because it was just because I know what this is all. It's just a big attention grab. Look at me. I'm special. Oh, shut up. For the love of God, please.
Shut up, bitch.
Okay. Are you religious, MLD? Yes, I believe in me. The religion of me. The religion of me. I believe in me. I believe in hard work. I believe in money, muscles, game frame. I believe in taking accountability. I believe that man is his destiny. His legacy is to level up endlessly through life. That's what I believe. Okay. Don't let her take some of your hair. Voodoo doll's real. No. You know what's real? Here's my fucking voodoo doll. Okay. Here's my voodoo doll. If I want to hurt you.
Some men may feel a sense of worthlessness and resentment. Some men might take an hour to clean up the house and fetch the kids, but the rest of the day they sleep or play games. In some cases, the wives work and then come home to finish the chores their husbands were meant to do but didn't. And most
now this motherfucker simping, bro.
This might cause huge marriage problems. It still feels better off to the husbands. If asked what they do for
James, bro, can you have James? This is not a real gun, bro. Come on, are you guys missing chromosomes? Come on. Do you see this? That's funny, though, that you thought this was a real gun. No, James, not a real gun. Got it off of Amazon. It's a Terran Tactical. It's a clone. Badass, though, right? Oh, my God. Is everybody missing a chromosome? You can have guns in Japan. Oh, you're trolling. You're in Japan.
For a living, saying they're on a break or working on a project beats the humiliation of saying they work at McDonald's with a useless degree on their back. Men without families have nothing to lose, so they stop working because no woman would even want them anyway. They can't afford to date, they can't afford a family, and since their own families are supportive, it somehow justifies them giving up and staying at home, rather than facing these societal problems head on. With prices rising, getting higher becoming harder and harder by the day, and inequality becoming rampant, hardships of having a job.
Most men are giving up. All I hear is I had every reason in the world to give up. I had everything. I could have, are you kidding me? I could have played the victim Olympics my whole life. I could have hated white people. My dad left me when I was born. He was like, oh, because my dad saw me and I was brown, and yeah, I could have made some narrative. I don't know why the fuck he left. Maybe he didn't like my mom. My mom's a little crazy. Like, I love my mom, but she, you know, we have come to Jesus talks often. I'm like, Mom, I love you. You're a little crazy, but I love you. You know, why do you think I'm crazy? I'm fucking came out of you. Right. So I could have been that. I could have been like, oh, the fucking, I don't know, fucking white people are bad, or you know, the inequality. I got fired for, I could, there's like endless ways for me to cry. Okay, guys, I worked dude, I've literally had like 35 plus jobs in my life. Okay, dishwasher, worked at Express, the clothing company, worked at Apple, got fired. No, I quit. Actually, I quit. A stupid idea, but I quit. But hey, now I'm a millionaire. Woohoo! Get money. Chick-fil-A. Worked at the credit card. Remember when you go to Universal Studios back in the day, they would try to hustle you to get credit cards. I was a credit card processor guy. Olive Garden, NYPD Pizza, nightclub, barback, modern day slavery, security, call center for Sears, taxi driver, Uber driver, English teacher, landscaper, general helper, $9 an hour, cash, 2007, 2008. God, so many jobs I'm gonna remember. What else did I do? I used to sell blood. I used to sell plasma. I would go to those medical things, like, here, can you like subject my body to science and pay me a couple $100,000, $100 or $100 or $1,000 here and there. Done it all, bro. Done it all. Sold couches on Craigslist, right? So what I would like to ask this guy here, what do you expect? Like an escalator to the top, like, here we go. Now I'm rich. Woohoo. It's not real life. There has always been struggle in life, guys. There's always been struggle. If you are upset about life being hard, you are a child. Okay? Anything worth having is hard to get. That's what makes it worth having. That's the big secret that they don't let you in on. I'll tell you right now.
It just seems so much easier to escape, whether it be timely being online, playing.
Damn, really? I'm gonna sell. They sell some plasma too. 800 for the first time donations, bro. I will go with you. Let's sell some together. You can buy Bitcoin with that.
Video games all day, or hiding behind doing chores at home to show they still have a purpose and are doing their best. The point being that for many men in 2024, if they're gonna be disrespected and feel worthless, they may as well choose the easy way out than a battle. If respect had a currency on how it would affect your life directly, you would see a different picture. A man with a job with high pressure, long hours, and doing something that makes him feel degraded would be worth, say, $100, but staying at home, playing games, and escaping, all while being with the people he loves, is probably worth $200 because of how it affects him. This explains why more and more men are deciding.
What in the name of bad math did I just witness? No amount of money is worth looking in the mirror every day and knowing that you gave up.
To drop out of society rather than face it head on, as it just seems to be the easier path. If it's a choice between two paths, one that offers little satisfaction while the other provides comfort, it's easy to see why men are going this route. But the thing is,
there is great satisfaction in going to work and working very hard. There's great satisfaction in that. This is an entitled fucking little brat making this video.
Terrible mistake.
Yeah, that's Luis here. He says, let them all quit. More girls might. Yeah, we're going to get to that part at the end. Trust me, the rant is coming. Strap in because the rant is coming, boys.
And this is creating problems that we've never seen before. If there is no emphasis or any facilitation of the need to aspire to something greater and the game seems rigged to most who are playing it, it's hardly a surprise record numbers of men are dropping out and giving up on the game entirely. The problem is that there's a huge group of men, roughly about 7 million in America between the ages of 25 and 55, who are not working and are actively not looking for work. Now, COVID.
Good. Give up. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Please. We need to jump that up. That number needs to go to 14 million. Okay. Get out of the way. Please leave. I do not need you in this society. If our ancestors would endure through the Great Depression, okay, imagine getting drafted to World War II and they're like, yeah, we're going to send you to a place called Normandy and you're in the first wave. Here's a helmet. Good luck. But we're like, I feel oppressed because my manager raised his voice against me.
It certainly had a hand in accelerating these figures. One question posed to these dropouts was how many of these men.
Facts. Coming home after working 13 hours a day makes you feel like you're doing it. Facts, brother. Facts. There's great satisfaction in that. This kid is a kid. This is like when I see people who are like, I'm XYZ dating coach and I'm going to teach you about life. And I'm 24. I'm like, I'm sorry, what did you say? You're 24 and you're going to teach me about life and female nature? What is the longest relationship you've had, by the way, there, Skippy?
and were on pain medication, and almost half of these men admitted to taking pain medication daily. And aside from those who desperately need it, these figures could indicate that men are aimlessly numbing themselves to their new reality. And this is great for society, as people don't have to deal with this huge problem. And what's even more shocking is that 40% of these men do have some kind of degree.
What sort of men?
Okay, if having a degree doesn't mean anything, what is your degree in? You know, I met a group of losers before in my life, and these guys were coddled by their mom. And this guy, I asked him because I felt so bad for him, but he was like such a meek. Like, I feel like if I just blew a fucking gust of wind in his direction, he would just fall over and cry. And I was like, what's your degree in? It's like entrepreneurship. I was like, they have degrees in entrepreneurship? Like, where am I gonna learn how to make money? And an entrepreneur in college who is not an entrepreneur, like, if you're a real entrepreneur, first of all, you're stressed out 24/7. Welcome to my life. Second of all, if you're a successful entrepreneur, you don't have time to go teach entrepreneurship at the college. You don't. You're too busy making money and working around the clock. That's the truth. Yeah, I know, right? You're not qualified, John. You don't have an entrepreneur degree. Fuck. God damn it. All right, boys. I'll see you later.
Are in this group? Demographically, education, family structure, ethnicity. Who makes up this group?
Surprisingly large, we say, representation of guys with college or even college degrees. 40% of this group has at least some college, and as I recall, about a fifth or a sixth are college grads.
The decision.
So even this guy just said 40% have some college, but the narrator said that 40% of them do have a college degree. So even the narrator is getting lost in his own sauce. Sorry, can't get on board with the pity train, boys. Sorry.
To be in this state is closely related to changing times. We've already discussed the effects of brain rot in another upload, which disabled problem solving in Generation Z and has already presented problems in finding jobs. They are
Motherfucker, your content is brain rot.
quick to quit the first difficult task and move on to find something else. But what happens when options run dry and they find themselves simply stuck in limbo? Giving up seems to be the next step, and accepting that is easy when they're discouraged by the situation. Working off of surveys, the data compiled indicates that these men are not only not working, but they're cutting themselves off from their communities, or there's no incentivization for them to even have any community in the first place. They're hiding out because going out would mean meeting new people who might oppose their lifestyles. It makes it uncomfortable. Why leave when you can just aimlessly watch brain rot content?
If you're watching this, this is not you, I hope. But do you understand this is your competition? Let me ask you something. Do you think this guy, this narrator guy, is drowning in girls? Do you think this guy is pulling mad girls and like has women at his? Do you think this guy could beat 39-year-old me in a fight? I feel like my testosterone level is dropped. I would be ashamed to even make content like this. This is funny. This should motivate you guys. For you go-getters, this should motivate you.
And numb yourself with weed or pain medication and stay inside in the warm comfort of home. And any sexual needs you have can be satisfied with pixels on a screen. This lifestyle is increasingly becoming more and more normal.
Your needs are not satisfied by pixels on a screen at all. Again, this is what I'm saying. This is why kids like him, dude, you don't know about life. Like, you're positioning yourself as some like brainiac genius, and the reality is, like, watching that kind of stuff ruins lives, man.
In the West. But what's important to note is that men don't want to be this way. It's a horrible lifestyle. It's depressing. It's atomizing. What this really is just a coping mechanism or a form of self-defense against a society that's becoming increasingly hostile to these men. Up until recently, the problem has been invisible. These figures weren't shown in any statistics.
Bro, you got to chill, Spider. You said, I haven't Given up? Yeah. Well, actually, you have, because your statement afterwards, you have given up. I haven't given up, but goddamn, I work hard, and there's still no future ahead where I can afford a house, cars, wife, and children all on my own from one job. It's impossible. What are you talking about? How is that? That is your choice. Dude, America is the largest and strongest economy in the world. Dude, I saw a guy the other day. You know what he does for his job? I saw this on Instagram. This guy, I think it's called Potato Parcel. Do you know what he does? He makes $10,000 a month, and people send anonymous letters to each other or messages on a potato for $10. So you pay a company $10, and he writes a message on a potato and mails it to you. Only in America, and God bless the USA. Let me see if I can find this guy's website. I never looked it up. I just saw it on Instagram. It could be fake, but I don't think it is. PotatoParcel.com. Let's take a look. Special Valentine's Day. Nothing says love you like a potato. Okay. Shark Tank. Look at this. Happy Valentine's Day, Potato Bud. $30. This is genius. He's doing the upsell. He's selling potatoes. He's selling flowers. Good for you. Good for you. I love you, babe. Here's a potato and a bear. A bear made of paper. Your message here. Potato Parcel. Potatoes and things. Let's go to potatoes. $30. $21. Here we go. 1,900 reviews. 5 stars. No one actually handwrite this, and there isn't necessarily much involved process. The Sator square was printed not in a square, ruining the joke somewhat. However, I sent a complaint email. They fixed it immediately with no back and forth. I do appreciate that a lot. I wish I could give them 4.5 star rating. Okay. Jesus Christ, pop-ups of galore. The potato didn't arrive at my nephew's address. Q&A didn't arrive. You probably put the address in wrong. Your name is Rhonda. You're fired. When ordering it was difficult trying to figure out the shipping address. Maybe they should take a particular before they send it. I bought this to give my dad, and he loved it. I checked out his PayPal account, which means it shipped me. I did not input his shipping as it lives in a different state. Luckily, I did not have to shed it after 2 weeks. Blah 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 blah. Proper service, look at this. $10,000 a month. $10. Oh wait, no, that's an add-on. My brother, Spider, hear me out, my friend. Okay. If you believe this to be true, then it will be true. I knew it's easy for me to say now. Okay. It's easy for me to say now. But when nobody believed in me and I was broke and working so hard, working my damnedest. Let me show you how hard I was working to get this business off the ground. Remember when I showed you guys something? Look how hard I was working. Give me 2 segundos. And I'll show you. Okay. Okay. Look at this. This is 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Look at how hard I was working. Spider, look at me, brother. Look at it. Look at this. I am 6 years younger here. You see those? I was working day and night. I was working around the clock, my brother. Around the clock. And I believed in my dream. Look at this. Look at this Bobo mic I have on my phone. Okay. The color the color settings on my camera is wrong. Okay. You can do it. Okay. One of my favorite quotes of all time. Okay. Was from a great man who revolutionized the world. And his name was Heather. Jesus Christ. His name was Henry. I'm combining everything. His name was Henry Ford. And you know what Henry Ford said? I'll share it with you. You should put this on your cell phone as your background, because I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you to help you here, brother, along the way. He says, whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you are right. I know what you're hinting at there. It's okay. I like it. Just don't get me canceled. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Remember, I told this to my monthly coaching group because I've been listening to a lot of Les Brown lately because, feeding myself positive brainwashing every day. Okay. And there's an African proverb that says, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Okay? If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Okay? So, Spider, my brother, I'm here for you, dude. Listen, I am not somebody who's come from privilege. I am not coming from any kind of privileged background. I am an incredibly hardworking person. Hard work is the great equalizer, but you have to be working hard correctly. Like if you're consistently working hard as a janitor and there's no room above you, then you're just going to stay a janitor. Okay? When I was in college, I had no money. So I would work at Roxy nightclub in Orlando, Florida. It's closed now. Okay. If anybody knows, Roxy nightclub. My shift would start at 9 o'clock and would finish at 5 a.m. Okay. I used to work with these two platinum blonde named Lexi and Heather. They were sisters. Huge fake tits, super hot. And their bar was always the busiest. And they always pressured me. I didn't have the frame that I have now. It's like 21 at the time. They always pressured me to drink with them. And when two hot white girls with big fake titties and blonde hair are always pressuring you to do something, you do it. So I would be getting hammered on the clock, working these crazy hours, going home, taking a shower, and getting into bed and sleeping at like 6:30, waking up at 1 o'clock, go to the gym on campus at UCF, and then go to class right after. And then from there, I had my clothes in the car, right back to Roxy. School was like 3 to 8 p.m. And I did that 5 days a week. And then the weekends I was working. Sunday night was Latino night, and I was fucking dodging bullets, goddamn reggaeton night on Sunday. And in reggaeton night, somebody's always shooting somebody or fucking going off in the parking lot. It's crazy. Dodging bullets out there. Boom. Here I am. So it's totally an uphill struggle, my friend. But you have to understand, you literally, guys, and I'm not saying this to be like a cool guy, okay? I was ready to literally die if I didn't fucking achieve a life of financial freedom. It was literally my favorite album in high school was oh wait, I don't think that was that the name? Get Rich or Die Trying. I don't think that was the what was it? Get Rich or Die. Was that the 2002 album? 2005? No, that wasn't it. What was the good one? What was 50 Cent's previous album? I was banging that, but Get Rich or Die Trying was my motto. Get rich or die trying. Okay. That is the album. Is that the album name? Hold on. Who's ready to get demonetized? Let's do it. Oh, what? Yeah, 2003. Get Rich or Die Trying. Yeah. Yeah. That was it. You know what my favorite songs was? Let's do it. Who's ready to get demonetized? Fuck it. I don't give a shit about the money. I don't care about the fucking $100 you're they're gonna make off of this video. Okay. You got to listen to a song like this. My favorite song on the album. Okay. Was not PIMP. I don't give a shit about women, bro. Right here.
Yeah. 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 If I can't do it, homie, it can't be done. Now I'ma let the champagne bottle pop. I'ma take it to the top. Show, I'ma make it hot, baby.
If I can't do it, homie, it can't be done. Right? I literally live that fucking lyric when he says, it feels good to what does he say? It feels good to spend 50 grand and think nothing of it. Fuck it. Okay? If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside of you can do no harm. So don't feel defeated from within. Don't speak that kind of stuff over your life. Do not do that. Do not do that. It is poisoning your soul. It is poisoning your outcome for your life. Okay? Remember, the goal of the elites, the goal of the matrix, whatever you want to call it, is to break your spirit, to break you down, push you down. Okay? But only you can keep yourself down. Let's go back to this British crybaby. Let's wrap it up here.
Statistics or surveys because they slipped through the cracks until very recently. So why did they slip through the cracks? Well, it's easy to see. They simply don't fit the victim criteria. Some have degrees, they're in the prime of their lives, and it was their choice to quit. It's easily overlooked and only comes to light as the numbers rise. Nicola's up.
Yeah, no, listen, you're not tripping. You're not tripping. It's cool. But do not, all of you listening, never give up. Okay? Never give up. Never give up. Okay? Never, ever, ever give up. All right? If you give up, your failure is guaranteed. You guys know this guy? This look at this. Let me show you. Let me give you some motivation. Look, I feel like as soon as I started playing this crybaby, like I feel like, oh God, here we are. I got to tolerate this. Okay. Look at this guy. This guy's Japanese. He's a Japanese this is hilarious. This guy's a Japanese tennis player who became like a motivational speaker. This is so funny, dude.
なんとなく生きてんじゃないですか。迷ってんじゃないですか。生き生きしたい。簡単ですよ。過去のことを思っちゃダメだよ。なんであんなことしたんだろうって怒りに変わってくるから。未来のことも思っちゃダメ。大丈夫かな。ああ、不安になってくるでしょ。ならば一生懸命一つのところに命をかける。そうだ。今ここを生きていけばみんな生き生きするぞ。
Can't let fucking life beat you up and kick you in the teeth and keep you down, because you are going to get beat up by life. You are going to get kicked in the teeth. It's going to suck. It is inevitable. Okay?
諦めんなよ
So good.
諦めんなお前どうしてそこでやめるんだそこでもう少し頑張ってみろよダメ諦めたら周りのことを思うよ応援してる人たちのことを思ってみろってあともうちょっとのところなんだから俺だってこのマイナス10のところしじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ絶対やってみろ必ず目標達成できるだからこそ家の日だ
Never give up. Never, ever. The biggest betrayal you can have in your life is to betray yourself by not giving it 1,000%. What is the other option? What is the other way? What is it? It is guaranteed failure.
Starts, wrote a book called Remember That Work, and has since exposed and addressed the problems in his book. He says he is trained to look for hidden in plain sight problems, which is how he stumbled upon this issue. You see, these men are not causing trouble, at least for now, and they don't seem to be drawing any attention to themselves. On the contrary, they keep to themselves. So surveys and statistics just don't include them at all. They don't even register on the scale, and people in society think this is a joke issue. And it's also reasonable to conclude that some of these men may work, but in the underground economy. Work like formal cash jobs, or even shady illegal ways of making money. But of course, this is just a minor portion of these men. We need to address the problem head on. How is the situation getting this bad? These men have completely lost their purpose in life. All of their duty, their hopes, their responsibilities, their own dignity and value. It's being completely decimated at the moment. And we're seeing this with the form of radicalization online, growing hatred and division, and a general apathy towards society as a whole. And the longer this is ignored, the harder it's going to be addressed down the line. More men today than ever feel disconnected, disillusioned, and left behind by a world that seems increasingly indifferent to their struggles. While GDP numbers and employment stats may sound like an easy, good solution on paper, especially to government bureaucracies, it will never really fix the reality of the situation for normal people. The real challenge we face today in the West is to find purpose and meaning again to have any reason to even want to participate and achieve greatness in society. We should focus on creating environments where people can thrive, where beauty, philosophy, and higher noble pursuits are actively encouraged by the cities and countries that we inhabit, which would give millions of men a reason to care again.
No. Again, no. Beauty, philosophy, higher noble, no. This is a child's dream, okay? The reality is very, 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 very simple, okay? As a man, if you are not working, if you are not striving for something, if you do not have a goal, okay, you're going to be miserable. Okay. Okay. Spider, you're the reason why I do these things, my bro. Okay. You're the reason why. Are you a Spider-Man fan? One time in the comic books, somebody wrote Spider-Man a check for $1,000 and he went to the bank to try and cash it. And like, do you have any ID? He's like, I'm fucking Spider-Man. They're like, sorry, can't do it. Motherfucking even Spider-Man can't catch a break sometimes. Okay. Life is unfair. Life is hard. And as you get older, everything gets harder and then you fucking die. And before you die, if you're lucky, you see everybody around you that you love die. Welcome to life. It's not fair. You're not getting out alive. So you might as well do whatever the fuck you want and work very hard to achieve your goal. Your life is very long. Spider, how old are you? Let me know. How old are you, brother? Okay. Yes. 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 Good. Think about Spider-Man. Would Spider-Man give up? Would Spider-Man sit there and get blackpilled? If you're Spider-Man, think about how tired you got to be. Like all these motherfuckers keep showing up. Like you got Green Goblin, and now you got the Rhino, and now you got Hobgoblin, and now you got Doc Ock, and now you got the Chameleon, and now you got Electro, and now you got all these. Okay, you got all these people. You got Venom, and now you got Carnage, and then they all come together to make the Sinister Six with fucking Kraven the Hunter, and now they're all coming together trying to kick your ass. And you're like, when does it stop? When does it stop? Okay. Would Spider-Man give up? Don't give up on yourselves, guys. The point of today's episode, men are slowly giving up. Here's why: because they are weak. We are animals, and The thing to comfort everybody to say from me is, well, society is set up and engineered for you to fail, and I could just blame. Okay, I saw something from Alex Hormozi recently, very powerful. When you blame other people, it feels good. But when you blame yourself, you take the power because you say, it's my fault. I made this happen a way I didn't want to make it happen. And now I can make it happen the way I do want it to happen because it's my fault. Blaming outside circumstances, blaming your parents, blaming society. That's what fucking the feminists do. It's the patriarchy. It's this, it's that. Like anytime I hear anybody of any color or any creed talking about racism, oh, it's racism that's holding me down. Listen, asshole, okay? The world is racist. Grow the fuck up. The world will never not be a racist place. Will it be less racist? So far, we haven't seen that. Okay, go to China, go to Africa, go to anywhere. Okay, and you will see racism is alive and well. So you could blame the big boogeyman of racism. You could blame the big boogeyman of the patriarchy. You could blame the big boogeyman of the government. You could blame. But at the end of the day, all that does is take away your power, and you cast a spell over yourself. You become a victim. All right. So, you know, it's up to you to take responsibility for your life and take responsibility for your circumstances, and know in your heart of hearts, anything you want, if you want it bad enough, it's a high probability you can have it, right? Very high probability you can have it. Oh yeah, here. Thank you, Billy. This is the click I was talking about. Look at this. When he's talking about blaming, okay? Here. Listen to Alex Hormozi.
A lot of victims aren't going to want to hear this, but if you want to feel better, blame other people. If you want to get better, blame yourself. Blame feels good in the moment, but it takes away everything from you in the long run. When you own your outcomes, you gain freedom because you now have power. When you blame others, you give that power to them because you say they're the ones who are in control of my life, not me. You might be 100% justified in the fact that it isn't your fault. And now what? Layla says this thing and I love it. She says, it might not be your fault, but it's still your problem.
You know, it's so true, guys. It's so true. So I was listening to Tony Robbins the other day, and anytime you're in a situation where you're feeling bad, okay, what you can do is focus on three things, okay? You focus on right now, the present. Don't focus on the past because it's going to make you sad. Don't focus on the future because it's going to fill you with anxiety. Focus on right now. Number two, focus on what you have. When we're sad and we're depressed and we're upset, we always focus on everything we don't have, and that tricks our subconscious mind and tricks our mind into putting us in a scarcity mindset. Okay, and you become scarce, and you think, oh, the economy's bad and jobs are drying up, and you start casting a spell over yourself. But when you focus on what you have, you start cultivating an abundance mindset. I have my health, I have my family, I have food in the refrigerator, I have gasoline in my car, I have money in my bank account. What if my bank account was zero? What if I had no health, right? And the third thing is your personal power. What can you do right now to change your situation? What can you do right now? Okay. The present, what you possess, and your power. Focus on those three things. Focus on those three things, and you will be in a far better place. And it's going to take time. G Money came on the show on Friday, and it was hard. It was hard. He's 10 months applying 10 months of failure, but he's still going. You know, Brent Caldwell's a good friend of mine. He's been working with me for years now. And that guy went on a 9-month approach, date, and rejection spree. 9-month dry spell. I told him this often. I said, I really thought you were going to give up. I thought you were going to quit because it's hard to do. And a majority of people do quit. They do give up. Okay. But on a long enough time frame, if you're working hard every single day, eventually you're going to have your breakthrough. It's inevitable. It is inevitable. Okay. So remember, men are giving up. Here's why, because they're choosing to give up. They're choosing the easy life. They're choosing pornography. They're choosing cheap, crappy dopamine. They're choosing the nasty food. They're choosing the crappy job. Because why can some fucking immigrant from another country come to America, sell bananas on the side of the road, and work his way up? You know, one of the big things that red pilled me when I was younger, I used to work at another bar called Roll Bar. Went out of business real quick. It was really shittily, poorly run. But it was over in the west side, Metro West area of Orlando, near Valencia West Campus, right? And after we got done, we got out at like 4 o'clock in the morning, right? And my friend, you know, I have a great friend back then. His name's Dwayne. You know, stud black guy, and charming motherfucker. And he would always be like, "Dog, we gotta go after work and get these Columbian cheeseburgers." I was like, "Bro, what the fuck is a Columbian cheeseburger? I don't eat these." Like, "Dog, just trust me. Trust me. We gotta go." It's called Junior's Columbian Cheeseburger. So we go to some sketch ass fucking park lot. There's a truck there. They're banging reggaeton. They got like these plastic lawn chairs, like, you know, like those, like the long plastic tubes. Like when you sit, it kind of, you know, bends. It's like a soft plastic material. Like you're too fat, it'll break through. And I'm out here, and these, you know, and there was always some fucking motherfucker gang fight or some shit happening sometimes, you know, some kind of drunken Latino drama going on at 4 o'clock in the morning. But these Colombian motherfuckers were selling these cheeseburgers rain or shine with a smile on their face. And they now have, I think, like 2 or 3 locations in Orlando. And I watched this shit. I watched them scale this shit. I'm like, here I am slaving away for my shitty psychology degree. And these motherfucking Colombian immigrants are selling cheeseburgers to drunken fucking gangbangers in the middle of some sketch parking lot consistently 5-6 days a week. If they can do it, why can't I? If there is a will, there is a way. If you guys are struggling with your dating life, all you need to do, there's options below. Join my monthly coaching. Come work with me directly. You do not have to do this anymore. There is a way. Go and just talk to girls. Approach them. Approach a girl. "Hey, how are you doing? I saw you over there. I want to introduce myself. My name's Jonathan." If she says no, guess what? Your life doesn't change. If she says yes, guess what? You just gained some experience. You gained some confidence. You gained something that no one can take away from you. Okay? The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Men are giving up. Here's why: because they're quitting. They're feminized. And look, again, this is a different conversation. You're not like them because you're here watching this content. People like you are rare. People like you are not the statistical norm. The average person is an obese idiot addicted to so much crap that's killing them. Spiritually, physically, it is murdering them from the inside out. Okay? So I am here to tell you that it is your choice. And if I can do it, you can do it. I am no special than anybody else. The only thing that makes me special is I'm a very hard worker. I work hard in my studies. I study to this day, guys. I'm reading new books now. I study to this day. I'm a hard worker. I'm working hard every single day. There are no day offs. Take day off here and there for sure. For sure. Everybody does. But I am working hard every day. And I could kick my feet up and just chill for the rest of my life if I want to. Okay? So, yeah, audiobooks. I mean, their audiobooks are free. Even if you have no money, you could get on YouTube and listen for free. You know? So, remember, men are giving up because it's a choice. That's why. Life is hard. Okay? Life's hard for everybody. Choice is yours. See you guys tomorrow.